So I am so excited to have my friend, Mascha Davis, registered dietitian, nutritionist, award-winning author, and founder of Minifish, to be joining me on this series of the unsung heroes of aquaculture. And I think this one is a journey, Mascha, that we made together. So I have to ask you, take us back 10 years, wild versus farmed, and why?
Yes. Well, this was something I didn't really know that much about until relatively recently because of you and everything that you've taught me about aquaculture and farmed fishing and all of the incredible advances that are happening in this area. And basically, I had this epiphany as we were developing my product, Minifish. I was searching for the cleanest, most sustainable option that wouldn't harm our oceans. And what I started learning was that even the highest quality wild caught fish are still, because of this incredible pressure that we've put on our ocean and our water resources, even many of these fish aren't the most sustainable choice. And there's been this revolution happening with aquaculture, and all of these high quality, amazing operations are coming online and providing these incredible products. So that was when I realized that this was actually a feasible option for my product, for Minifish. And so I'm beyond excited to be launching with an aquaculture fish.
So that was really interesting because all of the tastings and all of the conversation were around wild, and
All of
being a
them.
nutritionist, did you feel like it wasn't going to be as sustainable, as nutritive as wild?
That was one of my concerns. That was one of the key elements that I was looking for. I really cared about the omega-3 content. I really cared about, the quality of the protein, all of that. So yeah, I didn't know that you could get just as good of quality, if not better, and if not cleaner, with an aquaculture fish. The remarkable thing about aquaculture, when it's done right, is that the levels of mercury and environmental contaminants are nearly undetectable. And you can't say that for almost any ocean fish.
So tell us a little bit about Minifish, because you wanted to come up with essentially something that was going to be built to go, to be easy, to be accessible, that was filled with superfoods. And now here you are with this beautiful pouch that's just packed with protein, packed with nutrients. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so I'm a dietitian. I have a really busy private practice, and I realized that there was a huge gap in the market. There was this really big gap in CPG products and consumer packaged goods products for a product like this. I saw that there had been very little innovation in the space. There's all of these canned pouched products, but there hasn't been much innovation in terms of the sustainability, the flavor profiles, and the addition of things like superfoods, which is what I've done with Minifish. There's pumpkin seeds,
So
vegetables,
good.
superfood herbs and spices. So it's like delicious and super anti-inflammatory. Like, you just feel so good when you eat it, and it's ready to eat. So there's no prep. You can just tear it open. It's ready to go. It's shelf stable. So it's the thing that I wanted to recommend to my clients that I couldn't find on store shelves. So I had to make it myself.
Well, exactly. And I think it's really interesting that the inspiration behind it started off with wanting these nutritive properties from the foods, thinking about what fish and all the recommendations you'd made around fish and seafood consumption to your clients. But then you moved in this direction where you did a lot of research and have learned a lot about water farmers and the work that you're doing. So what did you find inspiring about that work on the water that really aligned with the other ingredients? Because it just feels like we can picture the land farmer, but what was it that really inspired you about the water farmer and the journey that you were going to make to really give them the privilege of being into Minifish as pouches?
Yeah, well, I mean, I saw the integrity and the passion and the quality behind these products, behind this fish. and being able to go and visit riverines, for example, which I was so lucky to do, and to see the way that these fish are cultivated and raised and how they're treated. I mean, I said that they're happy fish, like they're treated so well, and the quality is so high. And from the water to the feed to even the end byproducts that are actually benefiting the environment, like some of the water that comes back out is even more filtered than the water that went in. So all of these different elements were just really impressive and made me a passionate believer in it.
So how do you see the future of fish and seafood?
Well, I definitely see more products like this coming to market. I think it's a huge gap that's starting to be filled by, entrepreneurs like myself, like Scout, Akua, all of these incredible small, high quality artisanal brands that are starting to change the landscape of what's available to consumers. Because, as you and I know, there's a huge gap in seafood consumption in the US. Americans don't eat enough seafood. They don't eat as much as is needed for optimal health. So this is something that I think is starting to shift and will continue to shift, both in terms of the market and consumer trends, and also the availability of high quality, sustainable products like mini fish.
So true. And I'm so blessed to have had you be part of this journey, part of this series, and of course, to have you as one of these unsung heroes, the unlikely heroes in aquaculture. So thank you for your advocacy and for coming on board and really bringing a new lens to this. I appreciate you doing it so much.
Thank you. And thank you for everything that you do, championing this field. You're the inspiration for so many of us.
Oh, so welcome. I'm just lucky to be part of it with you.